Okay, people, how you doing? My name is Corey Turner. I'm with CPR All Motors, and I'm working on a 2010 Hyundai Genesis V8. I think it's the 4.6 liter, something like that. And the problem that I'm having is that the temperature gauge doesn't work inside of the car. It would always stay on cool. So when I hook the code scanner up to it, um, I got a code P0116, which means that the circuit on the temperature sensor was bad, or as I looked it up, it said it could be the temperature sensor that's bad. But I looked all over the internet and I also looked all over YouTube. Nobody has a video in regards to where this sensor is and how to get it out. So after doing a lot of research and just getting in here and breaking it down, I had to find out and figure it out. Due to the fact that I had to figure it out, I can't show a video on the steps that I took to get it out, but this is the temperature sensor here. This temperature sensor is located right up in here. Screw this on so you can see how it's pretty much sits up in here. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Engine's still kind of hard. I didn't screw it all the way in. But anyway, that's where it sits, right here, which is right below the thermostat housing. This is the thermostat, and it's in the housing right here, and that little baby is gonna fit on top, just like this. So in order to get to this temperature sensor, I had to first take off the air filter housing. Well, I forgot what it's called, but I had to take off this housing here that leads from tubing that leads from here to the intake. All right, then I had to take off the top radiator hose, and I had to take off the bottom radiator hose, and the bottom radiator hose goes onto the thermostat housing. Okay. Once I took off those two hoses, I then had to go and take off the throttle body, which you got 4 screws. This thing pretty much sits here. Okay, you take off 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull it off, set it to the side. That reveals the thermostat housing. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and just lift that off. It has a rubber gasket in it, as you can see. And what I may end up doing is go ahead and replacing the thermostat housing and the temperature sensor, since I already got it open. Now, the other thing that was a bitch to get to, very difficult to get to, was, well, it wasn't difficult to get to, but I had to find this standard belt tensioner ratchet or tool doesn't, the stuff that it comes with doesn't fit this car. So I had to find this socket and attach to it. And this socket is a 3/4. See if I can focus in on there. There you go. And it pretty much goes on nice and snug like that. And then you just pull it, lift your belt off. All right, so I'm trying to give you all the best instruction possible. Once I did that, I had to go and take the belt off. I had to unplug the harness that goes to the sensor. This is the harness right here. It looks pretty good. Don't look like it's old or anything, but the temperature sensor sure did. It's still intact. Pull the harness off, and I had to get a spark plug socket to take off the temperature sensor. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is, right here. All right. I had to use this spark plug socket, which is a 13/16, as you can see, and I had to take the rubber insert out of it in order to get, this is a little rubber insert, in order to get this to fit onto the sensor. And before I did that, I sprayed WD-40 on it, because if you don't spray WD-40 on it, it's gonna be very difficult to turn. After I sprayed the WD-40 on the sensor, it was easier to turn. I just turned upwards. You put this on here and you wanna turn it up this way in order to get it off. All right, so with that being said, there's your temperature sensor. This is a 2010 Hyundai Genesis 8-cylinder temperature sensor location and repair video. Give me a thumbs up if you all was very informed and you liked the video. Thanks.